So imagine this exact scenario for a second.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
It is exactly 24 hours before your absolute best friend's wedding. You step out onto your front porch, and right there is this pristine, perfectly taped cardboard box from an online tuxedo rental company.
Oh, I can already feel where this is going.
Right. You carry it inside, and you're feeling pretty good, honestly. Like, you're feeling great about how incredibly easy this all was. You didn't have to leave the house. You just clicked a few buttons on a website like a month ago.
Just a totally frictionless modern transaction.
Exactly. But then you actually open the box.
Right.
And the very first thing that hits you is the smell.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a potent, undeniable mix of stale cologne, severe body odor, and old cigarette smoke.
That is just awful.
It gets worse. You hold up the jacket,
Right.
and a crucial button is literally hanging by a single thread.
Of course it is.
So you panic. You try on the pants, and they are inexplicably like 3 inches too short. And tomorrow, you're going to be standing at an altar, totally visible to 200 people, taking photographs that are going to sit on mantles for the next 50 years. What do you actually do?
Honestly, it is a genuinely terrifying thought. I mean, for anyone who has ever stood in a wedding party, you can literally feel your heart rate spiking, just visualizing that exact moment.
Because it happens all the time.
Yep.
The internet has fundamentally trained us to expect this very specific kind of magic.
Right, the click and receive magic.
Yeah. You click a button, a box arrives, and your problem is solved. And look, it works brilliantly for buying paper towels in bulk. It works perfectly for replacing a lost phone charger.
Totally.
But applying that exact same fast food model of ultimate convenience to high-stakes, highly photographed formal wear, that is a recipe for absolute disaster.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our mission for you today.
We've got some really interesting material to get into.
We do. We have a fascinating source to dig into, a deeply passionate, honestly almost fiery blog post from a brick-and-mortar business called Darianna Bridal and Tuxedo.
Down in Warrenton, Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, exactly. Warrenton, PA. And they have written this incredibly compelling inside baseball breakdown of why the massive trend of renting wedding tuxedos online is just systematically failing people.
And it serves as the perfect case study for a much larger macroeconomic trend we are seeing everywhere right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what we're really examining today is the inherent tension between automated, algorithmic convenience and the absolute necessity of human expertise.
Especially during those zero-fail life events.
Right, exactly. A wedding isn't a Tuesday afternoon Zoom call. The stakes, the variables, and the emotional weight are just entirely different.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the source material, they do not hold back at all. They describe a phenomenon they literally call the panic box.
The panic box, wow.
Yeah, and it paints a picture that is basically a psychological thriller for anyone planning an event.
It's a very visceral, highly accurate piece of branding for what they are seeing on the ground.
It really is.
Yeah.
The blog post details this nightmare scenario that plays out in their physical store over and over again. So a groomsman walks through their front doors.
Usually at the last possible minute, I assume.
Oh, always. It is almost always a Friday afternoon, the exact day before a Saturday wedding. He is physically holding one of those cardboard boxes from a massive online rental provider, and his first 2 words to the staff are always, "Please help."
You can just hear the sheer desperation in that request. I mean, this isn't a minor inconvenience where you can just, request a refund on an app and move on with your day.
Not at all.
This is a real-time crisis unfolding literally hours before one of the most important milestones in his friend's life.
Right. And the list of defects they find inside these boxes, it's just staggering. The source mentions garments that simply do not fit the human body in any logical way.
Like they were cut for mannequins, not people.
Exactly. Suit jackets with giant rips in the lining, missing buttons everywhere, pant legs that are entirely uneven, where one ankle is completely exposed and the other is just dragging on the floor.
Just a total lack of quality control.
And then, like I mentioned in the beginning, there's the smell. The post explicitly notes that because of how these online logistics operate, the rentals frequently arrive reeking of the previous renter.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Food, smoke, heavy cologne. It is wild to think about paying hundreds of dollars, opening a box for a black tie event, and getting hit with that.
It's crazy.
It's like relying on autocorrect to write your wedding vows.
That is a great analogy.
Like, it works 90% of the time for casual text messages.
Yeah.
But when you need absolute precision and emotional nuance, the algorithm is going to insert the wrong word and completely ruin the moment. Or like buying a parachute on a discount app. You don't know it's defective until you're already falling.
Or in this case, 24 hours away from the altar. What's fascinating here is the underlying structural mechanism that creates this exact type of failure.
Right, it's not a fluke.
No, it's not just bad luck. When you analyze the business model of an online-only, venture capital-backed rental provider, you are looking at an operation built entirely on volume.
Churning them out.
Exactly. They are dealing in mass-produced, cheaply constructed garments. But the critical point of failure is their reliance on rapid turnaround times to maintain those profit margins.
How fast are we talking?
Well, think about it. A suit gets shipped back to a mega warehouse from a wedding in Ohio on Wednesday, and it immediately needs to be turned around and shipped to a groom in Texas on a Thursday.
Wow, that is a tight window.
Right, and when you systematically remove human quality control from that equation, when there isn't a dedicated person physically inspecting the seams, dry cleaning the fabric, and taking genuine pride in that specific garment, the system fractures.
It just breaks down completely.
Yeah, things don't just fall through the cracks. The cracks basically become the business model.
And when it fractures, the consumer is completely isolated. Think about it. The groomsman just tried the suit on. The wedding is in 24 hours.
What can he even do?
Exactly. If he can even manage to navigate some endless phone tree and get through to an online customer service rep sitting in a call center 1,000 miles away, what can they actually do for him?
Nothing. It's too late.
It is mathematically too late to ship a replacement. Which leads me to this huge, glaring question that the shop owners point out in the text, and it's so true.
What's that?
Are brides really spending tens of thousands of dollars on a venue, agonizing over the exact shade of ivory for the table runners, perfectly curating the floral arrangements, only to blindly hand over the guy's outfits to an algorithm?
It is a massive, inexplicable blind spot in modern wedding planning.
It really is.
And I think it highlights a fundamental societal misunderstanding of what tailoring and outfitting actually entail. I mean, e-commerce has conditioned us to believe that acquiring clothing is just a matter of selecting a letter from a drop-down menu.
Like small, medium, large.
Exactly, like buying a hooded sweatshirt. But formal wear is a completely different language.
So, if the automated system is structurally designed to fail when the stakes are highest, how does a physical local shop actually intercept that failure before it happens?
They physically see the garments and the people.
Right. And the source outlines the sheer complexity of what outfitting a wedding party actually looks like. Darianna Bridal Tuxedo isn't just pulling standard sizes off a rack.
No, they have to fit everyone.
Everyone. They are outfitting ring bearers who wear a size 3T all the way up to grown men wearing a size 70 plus. Literally every conceivable body type under the sun.
Exactly. And the complexity isn't just about the overall girth or height of the person. It is entirely about the geometry of the fit,
which they detail extensively in the post. The shop has to navigate slim fits, skinny fits, ultra skinny fits, classic portly athletic fits.
There's a lot of variables.
And to make it worse, the source notes that different designers cut their suits entirely differently. Like a Michael Kors slim fit might feel like an entirely different garment than a Ralph Lauren slim fit.
So it's a total minefield.
A total minefield. But let me push back on this for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
If I'm a groomsman, why can't I just take a tape measure, wrap it around my chest at home, and just type that number into a website? The store's website literally pleads with customers in bold letters, please don't measure yourself.
They really emphasize that.
Yeah. Why is it so catastrophic when we try to DIY a simple measurement?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really comes down to the stark difference between amateur guesswork and expert pattern recognition. Tailoring is a highly specific science.
It's not just pulling a string tight.
No, exactly. When an average person takes a tape measure at home, they are just pulling a piece of plastic tight across their body and writing down whatever number their thumb lands on.
That's about right.
But they don't know the exact anatomical point where the tape should sit on the shoulder blade. They don't account for how inhaling deeply completely changes a waist measurement.
Oh, I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Right. And they might measure their waist down around their hips where their jeans sit, rather than up at the natural waistline where formal trousers actually sit.
But wait, algorithms power self-driving cars. They map the human genome.
True.
Why can't a developer just program a line of code into a website that flags when a shoulder measurement mathematically contradicts a waist size? Like, why does it absolutely have to be a human being reviewing this data?
That is a great question. And look, an algorithm absolutely can be programmed to flag an outlier. It can say, warning, a 34-inch waist and a 48-inch chest mathematically contradict a 19-inch shoulder.
Right, so the computer catches the error.
But here is where the algorithm hits a brick wall. It doesn't know why the user got that number, and more importantly, it doesn't know how to correct it.
Oh, that makes sense.
The algorithm just rejects the data, or worse, it just ships a suit that fits like a garbage bag. But the human experts at Darianna, they review thousands of these specific measurements every single year.
So they see the trends.
They have developed a highly specialized, almost intuitive form of pattern recognition.
Because they know exactly how the human body is actually shaped in reality.
Precisely. The source explains that when a flawed set of numbers comes in, the Tuxedo department analyzes the data manually. They instantly spot the anatomical impossibility.
They see the red flags right away.
Yeah, and instead of just letting the system process a bad order, the human expert stops the entire assembly line. They will literally pick up the phone and call or text the customer directly.
Wow. Actual human contact.
And because of their experience, they usually know exactly what mistake the guy made standing in his bathroom mirror. Within a 2-minute conversation, they can say, hey, it looks like you measured over a thick sweater, or did you measure your waist below your belly button?
That is so specific.
It is. And that 2-minute human intervention, that brief moment of friction, is the sole difference between looking sharp in a photograph and a complete wedding day disaster.
Okay, I hear you, but let's play devil's advocate for a second here. We are living in an era where convenience is king. The modern customer, myself included, is incredibly demanding.
We want everything instantly.
Yes. We want that expert human oversight, sure. But we also have wedding parties with groomsmen scattered across 5 different states.
Yeah.
One guy's in California, one's in New York, the groom is in Texas.
That's a logistical nightmare.
Right. So are we just being nostalgic for the good old days of physical retail? Because a brick-and-mortar store simply cannot survive if they force everyone to fly to Pennsylvania just to try on a pair of pants.
You're absolutely right. They wouldn't survive a month. And that's exactly why this specific business serves as such a fascinating case study in retail evolution.
How so?
Well, Darianna hasn't stubbornly rejected the internet. Instead, they've essentially hybridized the process.
A hybrid model, okay.
Yeah, they've extracted the absolute best parts of digital convenience, the global reach, the ease of data entry, and layered them over an unshakable foundation of strict, old-school quality control.
Right, the source material breaks down the mechanics of how they actually pull this off. If you are an out-of-town groomsman living in California, you don't have to guess your sizes online, and you definitely don't have to fly to Warrington.
So what do?
You just give the shop your zip code. Darianna then utilizes a nationwide network to arrange for you to get measured locally by a physical professional in your area entirely for free.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Isn't it? Once you have those verified professional numbers, then you go to Darianna's web portal and submit your measurements and your payment online 24/7, just like you would on Amazon.
So you still experience the frictionless convenience of a web portal, but the critical data entering that portal has been scrubbed and verified by a professional tailor.
Exactly. The garbage in, garbage out problem is solved before it even begins.
That is a huge advantage.
And it gets better because they do offer door-to-door shipping. You can have your tuxedo shipped straight to your house in California, exactly like the massive online giants do.
But I'm guessing there's a catch.
Not a catch, a crucial difference. Accountability. They don't just generate a tracking number, ship it, and forget you exist.
Yeah.
The source states they actively follow up with the groomsmen to enforce early try-on.
It's forced to them.
Yeah, they literally demand that you put that suit on a full week before the wedding, fresh out of the dry cleaning bag.
Which builds a vital stress-relieving buffer into the timeline.
Exactly.
Because if something feels slightly off, maybe you hit the gym, or maybe you lost 10 pounds since your initial measurement months ago, there is ample time to overnight a replacement piece without anyone having a panic attack.
And they take it a step further, which I found incredible. They actually conduct live video calls with the out-of-town guys who are trying on their shipped suits in their living rooms.
Wait, really? Video calls?
Yes. Because let's be honest, how often does the average guy actually put on a full, proper tuxedo?
Almost never.
It's an intimidating amount of hardware. You've got the jacket, the trousers, a specialized shirt, a vest, a tie, a pocket square, formal shoes, cufflinks, and those little studs.
Oh, the studs. Most men look at a set of tuxedo studs and have absolutely no idea how they interact with the buttonholes on a formal shirt.
Not at all.
It is completely alien to their daily wardrobe.
Exactly. So the shop literally walks the guys through how to dress over video feed.
Yeah.
They explain the mechanics of it. They show them why tightening the vest in the back completely changes the silhouette of the suit from boxy to tailored.
That's a huge tip.
They teach them the specific trick to tucking in the formal shirt so it doesn't billow out at the sides like a pirate. They walk them through inserting the studs. It is a masterclass in proactive customer service.
That is just going above and beyond.
But here's where it gets really interesting. You want to talk about the ultimate convenience flex, right? The ultimate trump card over a tech startup.
Okay, lay it on me.
Darianna allows its customers to text their physical store's landline. The number is 215-491-8500. And when you text that number, you are not routed to an AI chatbot. You are not sent to an overseas call center. You reach the owners of the company directly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That is a profound differentiator in today's highly automated market.
It really is.
When you are dealing with the acute anxiety of wedding logistics, the ability to just pull out your phone at 10:00 p.m. on a Thursday, text a question, and get a response from the actual decision maker, the owner of the business, is invaluable.
Completely invaluable.
It completely redefines what the phrase peace of mind actually means to a consumer.
Unmatched peace of mind. And for the guys who happen to be local or whose tuxedos are delivered straight to the physical store, the policy is ironclad. Mandatory in-store try-ons.
You can't just take the box and leave.
Nope. You cannot just grab the garment bag, throw it in your trunk, and speed off. You have to physically put it on in the shop. You step out of the dressing room, and their team of experts inspects every hem, every shoulder seam, and every button to make sure you look flawless.
And if something is wrong,
If something is even a fraction of an inch off, they have a professional seamstress on site, ready to make real-time custom adjustments while you wait.
which proves a really vital point for anyone listening, honestly, regardless of what industry you work in.
Oh, definitely.
You do not have to sacrifice modern digital infrastructure to maintain rigorous quality control. You can have online payments. You can have nationwide shipping. You can have the convenience. But it only works if the business is fundamentally structured around human accountability rather than just automated logistics.
So we've got the mechanics locked down. We've solved the logistics. No one is getting a smelly, ripped suit. The pants are definitely going to fit.
The crisis is averted.
Exactly. But a wedding isn't just a military operation focused on avoiding disaster. It's about aesthetics. It is about looking incredible on one of the biggest days of your life.
Photos are forever.
Yes. And the source dives deep into how they curate that specific visual look. They offer an experience they call the free groom try-on.
This is where the emotional, highly personalized component of their service really shines through. This is exactly what algorithms simply cannot replicate.
It sounds like an incredibly fun process, honestly. They stock over 60 different styles of suits and tuxedos in the store, alongside over 1,000 different accessory options.
1,000.
Yeah. We're talking endless variations of long ties, bow ties, vests, and pocket squares in every conceivable color. The groom gets to come in, and the couple works with the staff to pull multiple full looks to test out. The groom basically gets to play dress-up.
And crucially, the source notes that the bride takes photographs during this process.
Yes. She takes pictures of him in the different outfits on her phone.
Oh, so they can review them later.
Exactly. Because the shop wants them to go home, sit on their couch, look at the photos together in different lighting, and really curate the exact aesthetic they want for the big day, without a salesperson breathing down their neck.
That's a very low-pressure approach.
It is. Like, do we want the stark contrast of the black shirt, or the classic crispness of the white shirt? Should we do suspenders for a vintage look, or a full vest? They get to figure it all out organically. Plus, the shop throws in a $60 discount for all the groomsmen and the fathers of the couple, which is just a really smart, generous touch.
This raises an important question for you, the listener, as you navigate any major high-stakes event in your own life.
What's that?
Who do you actually trust with these milestones? When you are curating a visual look for photographs that will document your family's history, the pedigree and the underlying motivation of the vendor matters immensely.
And the pedigree here is incredibly deep. This isn't a faceless corporate entity at all. The shop was founded in January 2013 by Franco and Wendy Salerno.
So a true family business.
A true, authentic family business. The name of the store, Darianna, is actually a combination of their two daughters' names, Daria and Deanna.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, and the founders point out in the blog post that when you walk down the aisle in one of their suits, it is literally their family's name and reputation walking down the aisle with you. They genuinely, personally care about the success of your day.
That level of profound personal investment, that tying of personal identity to the quality of the product, it simply cannot be replicated by a venture capital tech startup that basically views a tuxedo as a disposable asset moving through a mega warehouse.
The incentives are just totally different.
Right. The incentive structures between those two business models are entirely different. A tech startup prioritizes scale and speed. A family business prioritizes trust and legacy.
And you can see that difference validated by the broader market. This isn't just a local mom-and-pop shop patting themselves on the back. Their credibility markers are massive.
What kind of markers?
We're talking about over 1,000 Google reviews, maintaining a near-perfect 4.9 rating. They have been inducted into the Knott's prestigious Hall of Fame. In 2024, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce officially named them a top 100 small business in America.
Wow, that's significant.
It is. And they've caught the attention of major media. They've been featured on Apple.com, ABC National News, The Wall Street Journal, and Fox News' The Big Money Show. They were even recognized on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert in July 2025.
That is a staggering level of national recognition for a single location brick-and-mortar shop in Pennsylvania.
Right. But it makes perfect sense when you look at it.
It does. The national media is recognizing that Darianna has basically cracked the code. They are serving as a blueprint for how local retail can not just survive the Amazon era, but actively thrive in it by weaponizing human accountability.
And they use that success to anchor themselves even deeper locally. Franco and Wendy serve on the boards of directors for multiple local chambers of commerce. Wendy was named Entrepreneur of the Year in 2023.
Very impressive.
Their daughter, Daria, is a former Wish grantor for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The business actively partners with St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, local schools, community bands, and local theaters. You are dealing with real people who go to the grocery store with their customers.
Which brings us to the core psychology of why this model works. When a business is that intricately intertwined with the daily life of its community, a failure isn't just a dropped metric on a quarterly spreadsheet.
It's a real problem.
Right. A ripped tuxedo isn't just a refunded online transaction. It is a fundamental breach of trust with a neighbor.
That's a great point.
That is exactly why they intercept the bad measurements manually. That is why they enforce the early try-ons. They are fiercely protecting their community's milestones because their own standing in that community entirely depends on it.
So what does this all mean? We started this deep dive looking at the seductive allure of the internet. And look, the internet is a brilliant tool.
Absolutely.
If you need a charging cable or restock on coffee beans, click the button, let the algorithm do its thing.
Buy the paper towels online.
Buy the paper towels. But when you are dealing with high-stakes, multivariable events, like trying to mathematically fit 10 entirely different human body types into formal wear for a once-in-a-lifetime photo op, the algorithm falls dangerously short.
It really does.
Those zero-fail moments still absolutely require human expertise. They require a person who knows why your shoulder measurement looks wrong. They require someone teaching you the specific trick to tucking in your formal shirt. And ideally, they require a professional seamstress standing by with a needle and thread just in case reality doesn't match the spreadsheet.
It is a profound reminder for all of us, well beyond the wedding industry. I want you to think about the other areas in your life right now. Where else might you have traded true quality and real verifiable peace of mind for the very fragile illusion of digital convenience?
That's the real trap.
It is. When is it time for you to stop clicking sterile boxes on a screen and start having a genuine conversation with a true expert?
That is the absolute perfect question to leave you with. Sometimes the ultimate form of convenience isn't having a box dropped on your porch. It's having an expert ensure the disaster never happens in the first place. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We'll be back next time with another stack of sources to unpack. Until then, keep asking the right questions.